Well, hey fans, welcome back to the 5th annual JanuScary special, and today we're talking about Fear Street Prom Queen. So Fear Street Prom Queen is a slasher film directed by Matt Palmer, starring India Fowler, Fina Strazza, Suzanna Son, David Iacono, Klein, Ariana Greenblatt, and Katherine Waterston. And it follows this young girl named Lori. She is deciding to, go out for prom queen. Things have been pretty bad for her family ever since her mother was accused of killing her father years ago. And of course, this is a film in the Fear Street universe of films. So Shadyside has just a lot of bad things going on everywhere. But she goes out for prom queen. There's a bully girl who's also going out for prom queen. But over time, all the other candidates for prom queen keep getting killed. So now she feels like she might be next. So they try and solve these murders, before the end of the night. So I really enjoy R.L. Stine. I enjoy his work. Goosebumps is one of my all-time favorite kids' books, as well as television shows. I grew up watching that show. And when Netflix did the whole deal, hey, we're doing these 3 Fear Street movies, and they're all going to release like a week after each other, I was super excited. I watched all 3, or reviewed all 3. It was actually a pretty good story. They had stars like Sadie Sink in there, and it was great. And when I actually found out they were doing Fear Street Prom Queen, I was like, yes, we're getting another Fear Street. Super excited to see what it's about, because the last Fear Street movie, 1666, ended on like a cliffhanger with that whole witches book or whatever. So I figured like this may be a sequel to that. When the trailer came out, you find out this is actually an interquel. This is set between Fear Street Part 2 and Fear Street Part 3, because those movies go back in time. So this one's set in the 80s as opposed to, I think Part 2 is in the 70s. So yeah, we get to see exactly what's going on during Shadyside during this time. And I have to say, it is very, very cheaply made. This movie looks cheap. This movie looks so cheap. It is so disappointing. Like, I was a big fan of Scream Queens that used to come on Fox, and the killer, the slasher guy in this movie reminds me of like the killer in the second season. No, not the second season. I think the first season of Scream Queens, but like a Walmart knockoff version. Like the costume, it looks like they bought all this stuff from Amazon or whatever. Nothing looks great. None of the costumes look great. And the movie, like, and here's the thing, I kind of, if I were a younger person, I think I would have enjoyed this more. I didn't really know who any of the actors in this, except for Klein, Katherine Waterston, Ariana Greenblatt. I knew who those were. Everybody else, I feel like, is either a TikTok star or just some up-and-coming actor that I have no idea who it is. Even like the main girl, Lori, had no idea who this actress was. But yeah, it's not that good. It does not hold up to the original Fear Street trilogy that they released. I feel like this was kind of rushed out so Netflix could have some content on there, and they really wanted to tie it to Fear Street. I know R.L. Stine was somewhat involved. I don't know how much, but I just don't feel like this one was up to par. Like I said, first of all, the acting is not that great. A lot of these actors are young and new. A lot of the older actors are clearly cashing a check. Katherine Waterston is better than this. She is better than the acting that she put forth in this movie. And yeah, and the plot, why? I feel like they should have tied it more to, the curse that is on Shadyside. Because the reason for the killings, when you find out who's doing it at the end, is so silly and so superficial and doesn't really make sense. It is crazy. It's like crazier than it should be. What does make sense, there's also, a secondary thing, revelation, where you find out who actually killed Lori's dad. That, in terms of A Lover Scorned, that makes perfect sense. And I'm not going to spoil who did that, but that part makes sense. And I feel like this story should have focused more on that mystery than this whole 80s slasher prom queen thing. And they try, and it's again, and it is a very much R.L. Stine version. It is very tame. I feel like if you're gonna do an 80s slasher, go full on 80s slasher, like A Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th. Go with the whole teenagers getting killed having sex type thing. I mean, you got prom going on here and everything, but They didn't go that far, which is fine. I mean, it's based off an R.L. Stine book, so I get it. But man, very much a disappointment, very much a letdown. The graphics, and Netflix is known for having like the best graphics in some of their films, but man, the blood looked like it looked like somebody just put like a TikTok filter on this. It is really poorly made and really poorly put together. But I still want to see more Fear Street. I want to know how many more of these movies they can make. It's like it's like I have Stockholm Syndrome with these R.L. Stine movies. And just like the previous Fear Street, this one ends, it doesn't really end on a cliffhanger. It ends with like that witch's symbol showing up. And I don't really, since this is an interquel, I don't know how, because I reviewed the other three movies. I don't know if I remember them well enough to know if that her death is mentioned in the previous movies. I'll have to go back and see. But yeah, there is some kind of stinger here for a clue for maybe another Fear Street. And I read an article, I think R.L. Stine is actually working with Netflix on like 2 or 3 more of these Fear Street movies. So I would like to see where it ends up. But if you like the Fear Street movies, you have Netflix, check it out. I mean, you're not going to lose anything. You can cut it off or pause it, do whatever you want. That's what I did. I was on my phone for a lot of this movie. It was boring me to death. I actually fell asleep. I did make it most of the way through. I fell asleep like 3/4 of the way through, paused it, went to bed, and I finished it like the next night. So there's that. So in terms of a score, I'm going to give Fear Street Prom Queen a bad 4 out of 10. It is not good, but hopefully the next Fear Street movie is better. I'd like to thank you guys again for joining me for the JanuScary special. Remember, you can find the full review on YouTube and the website, flipfrogllc.com/flixfrog. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Reddit. And please, pretty please, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll be seeing you.